Improved programs. Six Sigma theory. Six Max claims that focus of reduce of variation will solve process and building problems by using a self-satisfied to understand the function of a process manager campaign to predict the special outcome of the product if of outcome is not satisfactory. Of Stein tools can be used to further understand ten elements influence the process. Systematic includes steps. Five steps, one steps define. Practicants being the process to ask what the common and what the problems are. 2. Speed measuring. Next, the focus is measuring the process there are categories made some systems are verified and data are collected. 3. Speed analysis. On data are current its analysis. The intent is to convert the data into information that improves into process. 4. Improves. The fourth step is the province the process solves the problems and develop and changes are made to process. 5. Control. In the process is performance and the size and precable level in the put controlled. This light speed is the substance portion of Six Sigma methodology. Focus on the primary area of variation reduction products of their secondary effects too. Quality improves process investigation, plus the evaluation of the value added status of many elements. Some elements are modified with the others are discontinued elements are refined and improved. Mistakes opportunity for mistakes are reduced. Length twins. Length twin in somatic scale lab manufacturing the Toyota production system of manes. Lean focus on the moment which is definite and is not necessary to productor the productor services on combination its touch team the amount of time the product in being worked on or by the worked frequently and focus in manifests in a space of flow. Application guidance. Scientific values determinants of which features create values in the products is the front end internal and external consumer sign points. Identify the bar stream. On balance identify active task contribute but are identified the sequences of activity is called the value stream. Improve the flow of values affect activity as necessary not valued active of indefinite improvers are direct to making the activity flow. Allow customer pull. After one is removed and flow stabilizes, efforts to leave the consumer pull product of services through the process. Work toward perfection is effort it is repeat and constant attempt to remove non-valuable imperfect and satisfactory consumer delivery needs. Focus. While Lean focus on removing ones and improving flow, it does have some secondary effects. Quantity improving the production spends less time in process, reducing the challenge of damage of adults. Simplification of the process results in reduction on variation as the company looks at all the activities in the value stream, the steaming constant in removed and performance in improved. The length methodology also make sound and summary. People valuable the visual effect of flow. Was it the mic restriction per level? Many improvements in raptures are more beneficent than analytical study. Processes in process inter effects will be reservoir torque value stream refinement.
Theory of constraints. TOC. A system is defined as a series of the interdependent processes. An analogy for a system is the chain or group of the interdependent lines working together toward the overall goal. The constraint is a weak link. The performance of the entire chain is limited by the strength of the weakest link. In manufacturing processes, TOC concentrates of the process that slow the speed of the product through the system. Application guidelines. Identify the constraint. The constraint is defined through various methods. The amount of the work incurred ahead of a process operation is a classic indicator. Exploit the constraint. Once the constraint is identified, the process is improved or the other ways support to achieve its utmost capacity without major expensive upgrades or changes. Subordinate other processes to the constraint. When the constraining process is working at maximum capacity, the speeds of the other subordinate processes are passed to speed or capacity of the constraint. Elevate the constraint. If the output of the overall system is not satisfactory, further improvement is required. The company may now contemplate major changes to the constraint. Repeat the cycle. Once the first constraint is broken, another part of the system or process chain becomes the new constraint. Now is the time to repeat the cycle of improvement. Focusing on constraints methodology produces positive effects on the flow time of the product or service through the system. Reduction of waste in the constraint increases throughput and improves throughput time. When the constraint is improved, variation is reduced and quality is improved. Constraint focus does not require intimate knowledge of data analysis or that a large number of people understand the elements of the system. Understanding by a few people with the power to change things is all that is necessary. The effort can be localized with minimum involvement on the workforce. Similarities between the improvement programs. The design of product or the service is essentially correct. The design of the product or service is the most economic. Customer needs are satisfied with that design. The current product configuration fulfills the functional requirements of the market and customer. The management structure support and nourises chain. Difference between the improvement programs. After extensive refinement of the existing processes or the systems, many improvement methodologies begin to look at the product or service design. However, it views the design through its theory and tools. Quality function, deployment, and value management are two techniques used to help connect the product or service design to customer needs. An interesting part of this investigation is that cost can be associated with function. When marketing and customers know the cost of the specific features, they make informed choice about the configuration of the product or service. Major obstacles to improvement. There are major obstacles to the improvement methodologies. They address management theory as secondary or tertiary issue. They don't address policies, either formal or informal. They don't address how managers are measured and rewarded for process improvement. They don't address the general theory of management used by the organization. They don't address the organization values. In any organization, many activities are driven by policies whose purpose has been lost in time. Al change programs challenge the existing way of doing things. This necessitates a skinned with purpose, a specific policy service, and whether that purpose is still valid in today's environment.